Okay, we got some hurricane stuff coming up. Let's take a look at all that. Hurricane Ian becomes a major Category 3 storm, Cat 3, as it makes its way to Florida because, and I've said this many times and I will repeat it, God hates Florida, okay? He has made it very clear. He said, do not live in Florida. I hate you. And as someone who has lived in Florida, I'll tell you, it's pretty obvious if you live there. You're like, what the fuck's going on here? It's just the vibes are fucking weird in Florida across the board. Very weird vibes. God just wetting America's dick.
We're going to begin with the Hurricane Ian. I know you've heard all about it. Strengthened overnight to a Category 3 storm as it barrels towards Florida. And barrels is a word. You can see it in this video, how people are already fleeing the state on packed highways. They're just trying to get away from the danger. And here's why. Take a look at the huge size of this storm as seen from the International Space Station. That is huge. The hurricane is expected to strengthen to a Category 4 before making landfall as soon as tomorrow, possibly in Tampa, which hasn't seen a storm this size in more than a century. Omar Villafranca is in Clearwater, Florida, which could take a direct hit. Omar, good morning to you. I heard officials there this morning saying, everybody, take this seriously, get out.
And people are doing that. Good morning, Gail. People here on the west coast of Florida are buckling up. The port of Tampa is closed to incoming traffic. Tampa's airport will...
I will never forget that piece of shit Rush Limbaugh famously said that hurricanes were fake and people were being alarmist specifically to like raise the alarm bells about climate change and that people should not actually leave the state, only to be caught leaving the fucking state. Rest in piss, Rush Limbaugh, you fucking gigantic piece of shit. Yeah. That was a fun, I mean, the most Florida man of all time.
Will shut down later on this afternoon. Evacuation orders are in place for hundreds of thousands of people on Florida's west coast as officials say that Ian will affect the entire state.
Hurricane Ian has landed in western Cuba, but its outer bands have already lashed the island with heavy winds and rain yesterday. In the coastal municipality of Batabano, crews with the Red Cross and the mayor worked to evacuate at-risk residents to higher ground. We're going house to house, she said, taking out the elderly and children. In Florida, some people are boarding up their businesses and homes ahead of Ian's arrival. The demand for plywood emptied shelves in some places.
We just want to make sure we get at least some coverage since we weren't expecting it to come right at us, and now it looks like it is.
We will see on the Gulf Coast of Florida heavy rain, strong winds, flash flooding, storm surge.
As Governor Ron DeSantis warned that all Floridians could be affected by Ian, the rush to stock up on other coveted goods, like non-perishable food and bottled water, created massive lines at grocery stores. Some gas stations were depleted of fuel. In Tampa, people waited for hours in their cars to pick up sandbags. And here in Clearwater, we met Gabriel Alley as he loaded up with sandbags of his own.
People are helping each other out. Hey, you need bags. Hey, let me give you a hand. It's been kind of bringing people together, actually.
Would you rescue Charlie if he can 1v1 you in multiverses? I'll rescue Charlie regardless. Take it seriously and get out, but meanwhile, Ian, you're a pussy. I mean, that's just Florida behavior, dude. What do you mean? That's just Florida activity. Yeah, Tfue is a Florida man. He is the most Florida man of all time. He's undefeated in being the most Florida. He jumps off of bridges and shit, man, for fun. The fuck do you mean? That's just like, when you do stuff like that, you're like, you know, that's like introductory level Florida man activity. I'm probably bad for this, but when I see that you're getting raided, it makes me feel that it feels cozy here in California. For the record, like, there are a lot of people that don't deserve to get fucking, you know, destroyed by this thing. You know what I mean? Even people who don't believe in climate change don't deserve to be fucking owned by the massive amount of damage that they're going to take on. Real Florida man doing Florida man things. This has got to be an old video. You're going to see a lot of old videos and shit. I know there are some crazy storm chasing streams, and we are going to watch them. Storm chasing is a classic on this.
Some hospitals in the area are closing and transferring their patients to safety. Even NASA's not going to take any chances. They moved the Artemis rocket indoors. We should start seeing some first signs of Ian here in the next 24 hours. Nate?
All right. So shit's popping off. Let's take a look at one of our favorite hurricane chasers, Jeff Pietrowski. Emmy Award-winning storm chaser over 40 years, 4K extreme weather stock, Tesla Cybertruck, sales radar, and weather displays, and a TEDx speaker.
From Southwest.
One of my favorite guys. A lot of wonderful characters in the storm chasing community. I'm a big fan of some of these boys. We got Reed Trimmer. We got Jeff. We will be paying attention to what's going on out there. From those boyos. All right, let's take a look at what's happening.
Florida, this is a quick hurricane update. Watch Hurricane Ian coming off the Cuban coast, heading northeast. Look like it's going to Cat 4. The eye wall is shrinking. It looks extremely strong. Damaging hurricane is rapidly developing, coming northeast toward the Florida coast. We're watching it. We're up here in Southwest Florida waiting for it. I'm here with Jeff Gammons is with me this afternoon. Jeff, what do you think about the hurricane and its current position and track?
We're going to have to keep an eye on how much it kind of wobbles a little bit more to the right of track, if it does, through the remainder of the day and overnight. So right now, we're going to be locking down, I would say probably in the next few hours where we're going to be.
Does this guy have a degree or just a death wish? Yes.
That's right. So me and Jeff's here, and we're going to be looking at this, tracking it. We'll give you another update a little bit later, but this is a large catastrophic hurricane hitting for the western, southwestern coast of Florida sometime early tomorrow morning. We'll bring you more updates as they warrant. From Southwest Florida.
Damn, this dude is old as fuck. Brother, he was there when the first hurricane happened, okay? How dare you? How dare you disrespect this man? Also, I don't know if he still does this, but he usually does this in a fucking Prius, okay? Which is insane. Like, half of these dudes will like turn around and like make their own vehicles. Jeff used to do it. Jeff does it in a Prius. He's done it in a Prius. Reed used to do it in a fucking Subaru. These guys are vets. Like, we've been following these motherfuckers for a while now. You want a car with low clearance so it doesn't flip, right? Yeah, Reed has made like insane ISIS style vehicles. You know how like you see those like ISIS cars where they like put fucking shields and shit on a pickup truck to make it like impenetrable? That's like Reed has like a similar thing. What, you guys have never seen like the ISIS custom made kits? Like they'll like kit up a Toyota Hilux out the wazoo, you know what I mean? And my neighbor needs a lifted Ford F-350 to get groceries. This is what Reed is using this time around. Yeah, he just has like a regular... Dude, look at all the hail. Look at all the hail damage, dude.
Yeah! How are you? Doctor, how are you? Good. All right, welcome to Florida. Look at that. Woo! Woo!
He's in a fucking Subi! The Dominator!
Which flex tape product is this? This is adhesive remover? This is MagnaSeal. No, this is something good. Excellent. There he is. Welcome.
I love these guys, man. Doesn't he have a car payment? What? Hey, Hassan, I just got a green card. Have no idea which state to move. I'm planning on going to the West Coast. Where should I definitely not move? I mean, California's pretty good if you have money. Ever see the Discovery Channel storm chasing show with Reed and the guy trying to get inside the tornado with an IMAX cam that built a tank? Yes. Listen, I'll tell you where not to move. Florida.
It's probably one of the most interesting things you'll see driving down a highway, and it has one sole purpose: to intercept tornadoes.
Like, I don't think the Dominator, this was too much. Like, they don't need to do this. So that's the reason why he just uses like a regular Subaru now.
This is the Dominator 3. The Dominator 3 is a storm-chasing vehicle that's based on a Ford Super Duty pickup truck. It's used by several chasers, including AccuWeather's own extreme meteorologist Reed Timmer. Designed to handle EF5 tornadoes packing 200-mile-an-hour wind speeds, the Dominator 3 is literally used to intercept tornadoes. To
be fair, that is a tornado, not for like regular shit. But
exterior armor plated. Atop it, several instruments used to aid.
What is this? He's got rockets on it? What the fuck? I didn't even see this. What the fuck is this?
In the chase and gather more data, including these rockets, which will carry multiple sensors into the sky. The interior also decked out. Reed Timmer explains some of the functionality of the cockpit.
And this is the cockpit of the Dominator 3, and here you can see the real-time display of wind speed and direction from the roof-mounted anemometer. So as we get close to the tornadoes or even inside severe weather.
Trump was right again. Trump vindicated. He was right. You can and should nuke a tornado. He was right all along, and we did not have the mental fortitude or the decency to understand. My dad was a meteorologist in the Air Force, and we used to go storm chasing as a family in a Ford Aerostar. It's crazy.
We can report how strong those winds are.
For AccuWeather, I'm Lincoln Riddle.
The sulfur.
5 of the most dangerous jobs in the world. Okay, I love that. We'll look at that in a second. Bro has the car from Twisted Meadow. Top Gear dropped a Hilux off a building and it still started. Yeah, I know. That's an old Hasanabi classic too. Jeff had a clip around going to mobile elderly homes in south of Tampa and found out that 75% of them were still there and nobody had evacuated them. I mean, yeah. I think like during COVID, we kind of showed how we feel about old people, like across the board as a country, as a nation. You know what I mean? Like we pretty much were like, yeah, you're on your own. If you die, you die. You know, YOLO, fuck it. Figure it out. Old people trying to get their life insurance policies cleared. Here's a clip of them shooting the rocket into a tornado. No fucking shot. Why is this not loading, dude? Come on. Load! Load!
Getting hit with some outflow. It's still wrapping around though there. What the hell, north? Get out of here. There's a big tornado coming. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Hold on, Sean. Don't move, Sean. Don't go, Sean. We're good.
Okay, get out of here.
No, hold on, hold on.
Wait.
Hold on, stop.
I gotta
Don't
move. Do not move.
The rocket has additional sensors. Is this true? You have to understand that working at BuzzFeed from 2014 to 2017 was like being a part of the Suicide Squad. If you had 5 free minutes, you would get pulled into a video to try deer penis for the first time. Hillary Duff glitter bombing you in the office, going undercover to nail Hollywood Predator because you were the only twink in the office. One time Salma Hayek crashed a meeting I was running. I interviewed a deer, the dress, the watermelon. This is literally true. This isn't even a joke. Will worked there, and it was literally a sweatshop. It was the only, I've never seen something like this. It was like a sweatshop of Harvard graduates, okay, that were literally shanking each other for just like, you know, meeting their insane fucking KPIs. Will worked there. Yeah, he was one of the homies. He can talk about it. BuzzFeed during that period radicalized so many people who are Nazis. Dude, fucking Baked Alaska. Will worked with Baked Alaska back then. Will did not go to Harvard, no. But he was like incredibly overqualified for it because he graduated from like every fucking comedy school in the country at that point. Yeah, they literally waxed his cock to put glitter on it. Which, of course, I think you know my friend Sophia Nygaard. She is somehow normal still, but really on that BuzzFeed grind. Yeah, I didn't really know her that well, but we appeared on a video together that Will made about dipping shit in cheese, dipping shit in fondue. But yeah, this is the time to bring this up, probably, I guess. Ned. So I know the Try Guys. Like, I've met them. I've worked with them in the past when I worked at BuzzFeed a little bit. Like, when I worked with BuzzFeed, rather. One of the Try Guys, also known as the Wife Guy Try Guy, apparently was very openly cheating on his wife, trying out, you know, other people in relationships, you know, trying adultery. And turns out it was a bridge too far for the Try Guys to try adultery. They said, no, Ned, you're out. Ned came out and said, family should have always been my priority, but I lost focus and had a consensual workplace relationship. I'm sorry for any pain that my actions may have caused to the guys and the fans, but most of all to Ariel. The only thing that matters right now is my marriage and my children, and that's where I am going to focus my attention. He should have just fucking tweeted out that he's trying, you know, other people's wives or something. That would have been funny. Anyway. So the Try Guys, for those of you who don't know, are like a BuzzFeed quad, I guess. Now a trio of guys that would try shit. They popped the fuck off on BuzzFeed back in the day. Here they are. Here you can see all of the Try Guys. Ariel removed wife from her bio, supposedly. Anyway. The group, which gained popularity at BuzzFeed for their viral videos and eventually departed, began producing content for their own company. Announced on Tuesday, the founding member, Ned Fulmer, is no longer working with the Try Guys. As a result of a thorough internal review, we do not see a path forward together, a statement posted to social media said. We thank you for your support as we navigate this change. The statement did not elaborate on the nature of the review. Fulmer, who went with Keith Habersberger, Zach Kornfeld, and Eugene Lee Yang, was a founding member. Had been the subject of speculation-filled chatter on Reddit and other social media platforms prior to his ouster regarding allegations of infidelity. Turns out Reddit blew this case wide open. In a statement posted to Instagram, Fulmer said, what I read already, that he had a consensual workplace relationship. I just saw a chatter say, what the fuck is BuzzFeed? Man, BuzzFeed was so incredibly hard to avoid. I love bad ideas. Yeah. Now, of course, there's a level of coercion when you are, you know, piping one of your... Canceling someone for infidelity seems weird to me. Like, it's such a personal matter with many layers that is extremely common. Not making excuses for cheating, but it seems odd to me. Yeah, the reason why I'm looking at this is because it's funny. I don't really give a shit overall. I guess, like, the only part of it that is, like, problematic, other than the adultery, which is like, you know, a human being making a fucking gigantic mistake and fucked up, is still, you know, I guess having sex with one of his employees. That's kind of weird, you know what I mean? Not kind of weird. I mean, there is a level of coercion there. You were in this one? Yeah, I was in that one. The ultimate fondue taste test. Here, this is the one where I was with her.
A shower and cheese. I'm from Wisconsin.
It's for the cheese.
Really just a fucked up mistake, dude. What a fucked up day. Why did I wear a goddamn bowler hat, dude? What a fucking dumb hat. Shut up. Shut up. I was a big hat guy back then. Hats were all the fucking rage. You don't understand. 2014, 2015, hats were popping the fuck off, dude. You wore a hat, you wore a sexy hat like that, and everybody was like, damn, that guy is like straight up a fucking fashionista, okay? Eyebrows done too? No, that's just my normal eyebrows, actually. My eyebrows have always been pretty decent. No, they weren't. I was there. I'm the same age as you. Shut the fuck up. I was in front of the camera. You were not, okay? Remember that time Marjorie Taylor Greene was on the Young Turks? Wait, what?
Also a grand finale.
What?
I'm not the right person to report these stories, I just realized.
This place is a juggalo hideout.
Yeah.
Oh, you fucking put Marjorie Taylor Greene in there. God damn, look at that hairline. Look at the hairline of young Haas. Look at that hairline, bro. Oh, my Lord. What has happened to me? What has happened to me? I will never be the same, dude. I will never be the same. Fuck. Okay. I used to look like one of those fucking, wolves or whatever. Wolfmen? Wolverine? The fucking, in the vampire movie. Taylor Lautner. What are they? Werewolves. Werewolves. Fuck, I don't fucking. Native American? Yeah, I look Native American. That's what I said. You fucking weirdo. You lost like 0.000002 inches. It honestly feels like I lost so much more.
Not a normal, like run of the mill.
I just look so much younger, in my opinion. I just straight up look so much younger. Which, by the way, I was. This is from like 2013, 2014. So yeah, I was much younger. Think about that. It's been like 20 years since then. Anyway, what the fuck were we talking about? Oh yeah, Try Guys. Okay, back to the Try Guys. Sorry for any pain that my actions caused. In addition to the video series featuring all four of the original members, the Try Guys YouTube channel is also home to a series featuring individual Try Guys and people in their orbit, including several that featured Fumler and his wife, Ariel Fulmer. Also appears in a series called The Try Wives, Wine Time, alongside other spouses. Attempts by CNN to reach Ned and Ariel Fulmer for further comment have not been returned. On Instagram, Ariel Fulmer released a statement thanking those who has reached out to me, adding, "It means a lot." Nothing. What is this story? Couple discovers abandoned baby in their backyard shed. Sorry. Yeah, Ned fumblered the wife. That's what he did. Good one. Got him. Nothing is more important to me and Ned than our family, and all we request right now is that you respect our privacy for the sake of our kids. Since their departure from BuzzFeed in 2018, the Try Guys have expanded their brand to include a best-selling book, a tour, a documentary, a show with the Food Network called No Recipe Road with the Try Guys, inspired by their YouTube series of a similar name. CNN has reached out to a representative of the Food Network for comment. The new episode of the series is slated for release on Wednesday. The Food Network, like CNN, is part of Warner Bros. Discovery. So they kicked out the Try wife as well as the Try guy because he, like I said, tried things that he should not have tried. There's a thread of the oh my god, this Twitter account is called Ned Fulmer Exposed. This is fucking insane. Okay? Evidence. Oh my god, they did another schizo post effort post for Ned Fulmer cheating on his fucking wife. Jeez, Lord mercy, dude. Just completely psychotic. You look good then and you still look good now. Thank you. The Forbidden Try? Who the fuck has time for these? You know who. Meets. Twitch watchers, okay? That's who. People that post on LSF. We literally read a form of this, okay, like 3 days ago, 2 days ago. The fuck do you mean? Silly billies, man. What are you talking about? Anyway, You look better now to be long hair. Thank you. This dude got caught at the most Gen Z bar in East Village, Niagara Bar. He was basically asking to get caught. You should see the theory that the guy who leaked it on the subreddit was the girl's fiance. Wait, really? Imagine being famous from eating 30 kinds of cheeseburger and then getting your affair put on CNN. I think there are way worse ways to live life, okay? I would take the fucking 30 cheeseburgers and, you know, incredibly fucking comfortable life that comes along with that. I mean, they're about to try divorce court, which is going to be an interesting experience, and then possibly even try January 6th 2 Electric Boogaloo. You know what I mean? There's so many content opportunities here, you know? Yeah, who would want to be famous for that? Anyways, what did America deserve again? I mean... My wife who gets tried, by the way. Okay. Ned did not appear in this recent tracksuit collection ads, which Instagram appears, Instagram Reel. The familiar intro to videos has been replaced with ads that include Eugene, Keith, and Zach No Ned. So they, like, I guess slowly pushed him out of the content. They were trying to cut him out. Ned was not in the last 3 episodes of The Tripod. Ariel was not in the last 2 episodes of You Can Sit With Us. There is evidence that Ned was edited out of Try Guys Ruin Chocolate Eclairs. There's evidence that Ned was edited out of Try Guys Try Stand-Up Comedy. On September 20th, the Try Guys announced that they were releasing just 1 video per week through October. The Try Guys released the 2 Eat the Menu type videos recently. They released Keith Eats Everything at Pizza Hut at a Vegas buffet 9 days ago. Keith said in a recent podcast that this show is typically released once per month. Speculation the Vegas video was ready to go and released early to allow extra time to re-edit other videos. Ned and Alex did not appear in Keith Eats Everything at a Vegas buffet. All the staff pictured in his Instagram post were included in the video except Ned and Alex. Ned hasn't been shown in any Try Guys Instagram post. This post on September 8th, which promoted the No Recipe road trip. Anonymous person DM'd Will Thayer, Alexandra Herring's fiance, with proof of Ned Fulmer with her club making out, cheating on Ariel. Jesus Christ. Bro. Hell hath no fury. You know, people used to say hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. But honestly, hell hath no fury like a schizo poster stalker on the internet, okay? I mean, straight up. These are the same guys that make, like, entire Discord servers to see which content creator is, like, boning whichever content creator. Straight up. And then they just, like, sit around and think about it all day. Seek employment. I don't think these guys are employable, okay? Unless the CIA employs them, okay? But streamers profit off this kind of obsessive interaction. That is such a fucking cop-out for your own personal, you know, psychotic interest, for the record. This notion that it's like streamers profit off of this interaction. Like, bro, come on, dude. Oh, you were asking for it. You were asking to be stalked, brother. Like, come on. This is just a self-report. You have, like, you literally have in your own mind. You have the mental threshold to stop. Okay? The Try Guys. Summary of suspicious evidence so far. This is actually for a video called Try Crying in the Shower. As usual, everything is your fault. Alt caption, we live in a society. Yeah. They should all try cheating and then put it on Pornhub? Okay. Men will literally do Secret Service type investigations in the online micro celebrities before going to therapy. I'm going to be honest, it's not just men. Oh my God, femcells are just as brutal as incels, okay? I've seen it. Like back in the day, there was a Kiwi Farm style forum specifically for like offline TV and all of like the female content creators in its like periphery. And that shit was like mostly women. And my Lord, some of the things I saw, holy fuck. Some of the things I saw back then was like, it would make incels go, okay, that's too far. As a K-pop stan, I can say women do this too. Yeah, it's not like a thing. Searching what the clip makes it look like it's your fault? What do you mean? My best friend's boyfriend dumped her because she was kind of obsessed with you. Wait, really? What is that? How does that even work? Like, I don't understand. I feel like I don't do enough to like bring on people to be like hyper obsessive. She made him dress like you when they banged. Okay, you made that up, but that's pretty funny. Like, put on some more rings, please. And I'm picturing the boyfriend. I'm picturing the boyfriend be like, no, I've already put on 4 rings. Stop. It's like, no, you need a 5th ring. Put on the 5th fucking ring. Do it. I don't want to put on the 5th ring. I have too many rings. No, the rings stay on during sex. The real story is Chowder's boyfriend broke up with her because he's a tater tot, but of course you're being blamed as usual, probably. Honey, put on the Eat the Rich shirt. No, first of all, it says make the rich pay. Honey, the make the rich pay shirt stays on at night, okay? Put on the 2nd Hawaiian shirt. Put on the 2nd Hawaiian shirt right now. It doesn't even make sense. I'm too sweaty. Put it on. Okay. On September 3rd, Hugh Hamilton account has been deleted, made this Reddit post, blah, 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 message Laura Stars, like messaging the people personally is like insane. Hi, I was just wondering if da-da-da was in New York City, because if I think so, there's something you should know. Unfortunately, yeah, she was. Why? So basically, I went out to the Niagara Club last night and saw her making out with Ned from the Try Guys. I have videos if needed. She was wearing a red dress. I don't know if that helps. Please send them to me. Thanks. When was this last night? No worries. My apologies. I'm so sorry. Yes, last. What time? Around 1 to 3 a.m. Where was this? Niagara by NYU. If you slow it down, you can see she's in the red. Did you see anything else? Was it just them two? Just them two, nobody else. They weren't even trying to be private. The entire time they were making out, he was touching her too, all that stuff. Jesus Christ. Cool. I DM'd her as well. Hope you both have a great night. If I see anything else, I'll let you know. What do you mean? Have a great night. Hey, your relationship is falling apart. Have a great night. What the fuck? Everyone involved in this story is psychotic, okay? He said, hope you both have a great night. Will says, I'm over this Twitch drama, but this BuzzFeed drama, yeah, I mean, Will has every right to fucking feel some type of way about this. Because, you know, he was fucked over big time. Through some editing, Redditors found that the OP DM'd Will about Ned cheating on Ariel with Alex. Seems like they're mutuals on Instagram as well. Will Thayer III. Will Thayer, Alex's fiance, admitted to leaking the screenshots to provide proof that Ned Fulmer cheated on Ariel with Will's fiance. So, like, it's a double adultery situation, which is kind of wild. Like, it's not like a singular, like, it's not like Try Guys try one adultery moment, like with a random. It's a double adultery situation. It's double jeopardy. Yeah, so this guy, not this guy, oops. This guy, okay, I think, wait, no, not that guy. Or no, that's the guy. This is the guy. I thought it was this one. Fuck! They all look so, like, similar. They all look like varying degrees of the same kind of white nerd guy. Okay. This guy was married, and he was also known as the wife guy, okay? He was, like, really into his wife. My wife, right? Borat style. Anyway, he goes out, and he's just, like, straight up cheating on his wife, and one of the women that he was cheating on his wife with was a woman who was, like, slated to get married, engaged to another guy, a woman that worked under them. Imagine being a 22-year-old who just moved to New York, going out to a bar and getting hit on by the guy you used to watch eat 400 kinds of Kit Kat who's cheating on his wife. Yeah, that's like the crazy... That is actually just a wild situation, because who the fuck's like, damn, I'm really trying to hit that. Like, no disrespect, but like, what's happening there? You know what I mean? Like, what is he? How much game is he kicking? Like, what happened? How did that happen? How is this guy just like on pipe mode? You know what I mean? Absolutely blasting on all fucking cylinders. It's just like, it's the ones you least suspect. And it's always the same rookie hole, okay? Here's what happens. These guys, they're gigantic fucking nerds, okay? They don't have anything going on in their lives. They get married to their like high school sweetheart or whatever the fuck. I don't know if that's what happened with this dude, but they don't have like the normal development, the trials and tribulations, the ins and outs of like being a Norman, getting rejected a million times over. You know what I mean? You do all of that. When you don't go through all of that, and you literally fucking go through your development with like a girlfriend who then becomes your wife, and then all of a sudden you're popping, like you have money, you can like start working out, hire a personal trainer, hire a private chef, you know what I mean? Like do all of this shit and like improve, and then be like, okay, well I kind of want to like try, having sex with other women, right? This happens a lot to people in the internet space because they're just like fucking gigantic nerds who don't actually go through like the normal development phase of being a Norman and just kind of blow the fuck up. And when they blow the fuck up, they're like, well, I want to try the normal shit now. You know what I mean? And you can't try the normal shit anymore because you're not a normal person. You're not a Norman. You're like a fucking famous guy. Okay? And that's why they constantly fall into this this problem. Try getting stuck in the rookie hole and later try getting your balls off my face. Yeah. It wasn't even random, though. It was someone he's worked with for years now. That's what I'm saying. Like, he was a frat boy, though. Yeah, at fucking Yale, dog. What do you mean he was a frat boy? It's like being a part of the chess club. Like, oh, man. Like, yeah, he was a real frat boy, dude. Look at him. Half the fucking alma mater, half the alumni of the fraternity are now in the CIA. And you're over here being like, oh, he was a frat boy. No, they're all fucking pencil pusher nerds. As Plato said, classic rookie hole. Yeah. So, are there any other situations like this you can name with not being a Norman? There are varying degrees of fucked up behavior that like people in this space have exhibited time and time again. This is light in comparison to some of the shit I'm referencing. And some of the shit I'm referencing is not even a defense. It's just like an explanation for why these sorts of things happen. So, that basically is what's going on there. Like a good example of that, which was in the gray area, was Aziz Ansari. Nerdy dude, becomes famous, goes on a date. The date is not great, okay? And then it was at the height of the Me Too movement too. So it turns into like a Me Too moment when it's not really a Me Too moment. It's like, you know what I mean? Why did that happen? Because he doesn't know how to navigate through that. He doesn't know how to navigate through that at all because he's a fucking huge nerd who, for the first time ever, has like women coming up to him and asking him, what can I do at the top of the hour? Well, to them, I tell you, you can avoid those ads that are coming at the top of the hour with a Twitch Prime subscription, which is free, or a $5 a month subscription. Holy fuck, I just destroyed everyone. People's brains broke on that one. That was so sweet. That was actually so fire. And it's exactly on the dot at 2 too. Woo! Goddamn. That was a fire transition. Okay, at the top of the hour, there's a 6-second ad break. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. You get 1 free Prime subscription a month. Okay, Haas on Twitch, thank you for the 5 gifted, allowing 5 people to no longer see the ads. 25 B Campbell, allowing 5 people to also no longer see the motherfucking ads. Let's go. What? Hairline few grafts for you? Less than 3K for the area desired? What is this? Bro, is this guy doing a fucking ad about like hairline grafts in my chat right now? What the fuck? I don't want that shit, bro. I'm not going to Budapest for that. I go to Turkey if I wanted to. Anyway, yeah, here's the 1 minute ad break now, by the way. Sheldon TTV, VDP, and Sakura Gore with the 25 big ones. 25 B Campbell with the 5. Thank you, allowing everyone to no longer see the ads. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. Okay, let's continue. Here's a good video for perspective. Oh my God, my ear is ringing. Here's a good video for perspective. He's literally the Borat of the Try Guys. Dracule06 and Strewsby Beats, thank you.
My wife, 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 my wife.
To be fair, when you've tried literally everything on the fucking planet, there's one thing you haven't tried, and that is the forbidden fruit of someone else. You know what I mean? While you're in a relationship. The tastiest nectar of all time. Okay? Let's be real.
My wife, 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 my wife.
Also known as some strange. Well, not so strange, but more so familiar.
My wife. 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 My wife.
Yeah, he should just make a trying adultery. Ooh, what is this? Bro said now his wife. Yeah, he went from my wife to, you know, maybe his wife, his potential future wife. That's what he said. But yeah, I just like, this is definitely, you know, we're all getting involved in this because it's probably, I mean, it's like low, it's not as bad as other shit. You know what I mean? It's not like he did like, he didn't do something way worse as far as we know. It seems mostly consensual. There's a problematic coercive element to the relationship, considering that the other person is like working under them. The other woman that he had sex with was like working under them.
My wife. My wife. My wife. My wife. My wife. My wife. I'm married to my wife. My wife. My wife. My wife.
Why don't you sound like Professor Snape?
Yeah, it's like a palate cleanser. You know what I mean? It's like a palate cleanser off of like everything that's going on. What is this? The Try Guys try predicting the future?
That is cheating.
Wait, this is the same fucking... This is the same kitchen that we've worked inside of. This is where I did the Cutie Cinderella show.
Ned is cheating. I'm calling it. Ned is cheating. Ned is cheating. I'm calling it.
Also, she's cute. Like, he definitely swung high for the fences. He really should not have fucked up the bag, you know? I mean, his wife didn't consent. The fuck do you mean his wife didn't consent? That's not what we're talking about. What? What? Yeah, I don't think his wife consented to being cheated on, chatter. You really got that. But also, that's not how cheating works, man. Hearing about the Try Guys drama where Ned cheated on his wife is absolutely insane to me, considering they literally hosted an ethics of healthy relationships panel at my university. I mean, the panel would have worked. The panel would have worked if they were just like in an open relationship, low key. You know? Yeah, the Try Guys try polyamory, you know? Honestly, this creates an incredible legacy moment for Biden. He now gets to appoint a new Try Guy, meaning a full quarter of all the Try Guys will be Biden appointees. That's actually funny as fuck. Good shit, Tom Gara. That is fucking hilarious, dude. By the way, Hasanabi Head, also Hasanabi Head. Just interesting things to point out. Hasanabi Head universe merging with the Try Guy universe here. Everybody's fucking popping off. Same hair as you? Yeah. Got wonderful hair. Jade Fangs, wonderful hair. Consenting cheating is just polygamy? Well, then it's not cheating. New Try Guy, Merrick Garland. Oh, but yeah, this is some spicy fusilli right here. Yeah, they should have tried reading the Quran, in which case they would not have done this. There's more that I'm not willing to share, but go ahead and call that number. Tell me I'm bluffing. I'll be telling everyone this is Will Trayer, Alex's fiance. There you go. Not gonna lie, that could be literally any white guy. Listen, I don't like Ned all that much. I find him a bit grating, but that's a blurry ass pic, you know. Newest information from Reddit. This guy literally watermarked it, dude. At Ned Fulmer expose. That's insane. This guy watermarked the cheating photo, dude. That's crazy. He put a fucking watermark on it, dude. Oh my God. Capitalism has broken the brains of so many fucking people. Original credit at Julia.Ashley. How can a man sleep with another woman without being shunned by society? Looking for tips and tricks. Yeah, it's called, you know, being in a mutually respectful relationship with a partner that also wants to, you know, open up the relationship and have do polyamory. Clearer photo from Ned Fulmer from the Try Guys cheating on Ariel with his coworker Alexander Herring. This is apparently a part of the video Julia DM'd to Will. Sickening. Sickening. It's a little bit of cheating, bro. Chill. Oh. He's cheating on all of us, chat. Yeah. Did you try a new chair that's not even Hermie, or are you cheating on Hermie? All right, let's continue. Literally, I know what you were doing with those $7 million Moonrock casing. Yeah, you heard me fucking pee from the other room. How was the flow? Was it good? Okay, update. Kelsey Impichiche, YB's bridesmaid bestie, unfollowed, all this stuff. Submission in regards to the cheating photo. Alexandria has been spotted with the same purse multiple times. Dude, this is like, this straight up is like the exact same shit. This is like what the fucking weird stalkers do. In this situation, at least the stalkers were, you know, the stalkers actually like exposed something that is like fucked up behavior, right? They expose something that's like fucked up behavior, but ultimately it's still like fucking weird. You know what I mean? Weird and crazy. Nobody even thinks about how this can mentally impact that girl. The family is destroyed. Anyway, this was, I mean, yeah, it's just wild. It's just wild, wild, wild shit overall. But I mean, this is not like game-changing, life-ruining. It just depends on how Ned decides to move on. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. He just needs to try fixing his relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what he needs to try. Anyway, we're going to try getting back to the news after the Try Guy news. Ukraine accuses Russia of gas pipeline terror attack.
European countries are investigating 3 mystery leaks in 2 major gas pipelines between Russia and Europe. The cause of the damage to Nord Stream 1 and 2 is unclear. The news has sent European gas prices up sharply over concerns that any swift resumption in gas flows through the pipelines is unlikely. And these pictures from the Danish military show bubbles in the Baltic Sea from the leaks. The European Commission says it would be premature to speculate about what's happening.
I don't understand why Russia would, like, blow up their own fucking ticket to, like, influence. You know what I mean? Like, why the fuck would they blow up their own goddamn pipeline? Like, Russia is already fucked, okay? They are so fucked. They're so incredibly fucked. Okay? They're already like fucking forcing people to the front lines and shit. There's a lot of internal struggle happening within Russia of people being like, I don't want to fucking get conscripted. What the fuck? Fuck you. Like, them blowing up their own pipeline where they could just like do this, okay? Here's what they could have done instead. This. That's me turning off the faucet. Okay? It's called click, turning off the fucking faucet. Here we go. Hassan defending Putin. What a snake. You already know it, baby. It's like the only thing keeping them even remotely in a grip of power. Wait, what? Radek Sikorsky says, "Thank you, USA." Chairman of the EU-USA delegation thanks the United States of America, Harvard fellow, of course, and a distinguished statesman. By the way, there's no shortage of pipeline capacity for taking gas from Russia to Western Europe, including Germany. Nord Stream's only logic was for Putin to be able to blackmail or wage war on Eastern Europe with impunity. All Ukrainian and Baltic Sea states have opposed Nord Stream's construction for 20 years. Now, $20 billion of scrap metal lies at the bottom of the sea, another cost of Russia of its criminal decision to invade Ukraine. You should be more neutral and not jump to conclusions. I mean, I'm not even jumping to a conclusion. Maybe Russia did blow up its own fucking pipeline. It just seems so strange to do so. They might not have blown it up to show that they can do it. They might have blown it up to show that they can do it. The Norway pipeline opened today. Wait, what? Then wouldn't they say that they did it then? I don't understand. What?
Happened.
Obviously, any act of sabotage on any infrastructure is something that we would condemn.
Seismic data assumes it was a detonation. Yeah, that's okay.
As to further reactions, we will have to see, depending on the exact facts, once they are determined.
The head of the Danish Energy Authority says gas will continue to leak from the Nord Stream 2 pipeline in the Baltic Sea for several days and perhaps even a week. Damien McGuinness has more from Berlin.
I think the big question is what's behind this. So what we do know is over the past 24 hours, these 3 separate leaks were discovered. Now, this is very unusual because one of these pipelines is brand new. It's never been in operation, but it has just been built. It doesn't deliver any gas to Europe because of the war in Ukraine. So just before the invasion, the German government decided to withhold authorization. The other pipeline has been running for a long time, but the reason why this is so unusual is because these 3 separate leaks happened in such a short amount of time, and experts say this is very unusual. Now, authorities here in Germany and in other countries, including Denmark, say they're not ruling out sabotage such as an attack from either Ukraine or Russia or some sort of false flag operation. But there's no evidence for that so far. So we have to be very, very cautious because obviously this is a very controversial subject. These pipelines themselves are incredibly controversial because they were built to deliver gas, Russian gas, directly from Russia to Germany, the main source really, or the main form of transport of Russian gas to then the rest of Europe. And this has really been criticized for more than a decade, really, for one of the reasons why Europe is so over-reliant on Russian gas. So they're incredibly controversial infrastructure. And of course, at this particular time, when energy is a key part of the war in Ukraine right now, this is why this, what would usually be seen as simply a technical fault, is creating such a discussion here. What is exactly behind these gas?
I mean, this is what people got. This is what got people in a tizzy on social media.
First question first: if Russia invades
Germany,
that means tanks or troops crossing the border of Ukraine again.
Dark Brandon, he did it.
Then there will be no.
Bro, I'm pretty surprised because your take is super short-sighted, but that's okay. European gas isn't your expertise. The point is so Russia can pretend to come to the table with genuine intentions and blame the infrastructure as the culprit. Now, come on, bro. It's right in front of you, for fuck's sake. Brother, you can't do detonations on a fucking pipeline and then act like it happened as a consequence of the crippling infrastructure when, like, it's very obvious if an explosion occurred. You understand that, like, there are engineers who can dive down there and, like, take a look. There are people who analyze seismic data, as we talked about already, that will say, well, this is consistent with like a singular detonation. So, it's kind of difficult to hide a bombing attempt. It's just kind of, my thing is like, there's a simple way of looking at a lot of these situations, right? And there's a very simple way of looking at these situations, and it's like, who has the most to gain here, right? It, like, quite literally doesn't make fucking sense for Russia to false flag themselves in this way, because it's like their main thing, their main source of revenue, you know? Hold on. Chicken is ready. Hold on. But many people will say neither was invading Russia. True, but at least there was like something to gain. It was a major fuck up and idiotic, but there was something to gain out of it. I can't see what the gain angle is here. Invading Ukraine, while a gigantic misstep because they were going to fucking, experience all the things that they're experiencing now. And anyone with a fucking brain cell could have seen that. This, like, what is the gain here? What could it be? And I'm sincerely asking. I think, there is a gain of, like, thinking, overextending, thinking that you're capable of invading Ukraine while you're clearly not, and overextending. Best guess, Russia is purposely escalating, demonstrating a capacity they can blow up a pipeline that could potentially be used again in a much more significant way. Wait, what? Right now, Nord Stream 1 wasn't moving much gas, so the economic impact on all parties is fairly minimal. Wait, what? To flex? And the show that they... What?
With regard to Nord Stream 2, we continue to have very strong and clear conversations with our German allies, and I want to be clear with you today. If Russia invades Ukraine, one way or another, Nord Stream 2 will not move forward.
The fuck does one way or another mean? Attacking Russia's pipelines that don't go through Ukraine is a huge hit to Russia, and it's hilarious. Western media is using the term false flag as if NATO would never do this. Yeah, I just don't understand why they would do this. I don't know why they would ever do this. Like, I don't know why they would just, like, shoot their own leg for no fucking reason. You know what I mean? But then again, it's like, because Vladimir Putin has done something that's, like, insane, invading Ukraine, people are just going to always be like, well, they probably did it because this is insane too, and they just don't care. Ursula von der Leyen spoke to Statsman Frederiksen on the sabotage action. Paramount to now investigate the incidents, get full clarity on events and why any deliberate disruption of active European energy infrastructure is unacceptable and will lead to the strongest possible response. What are they going to do if it's America? Huh? What are they going to do? Let's say it's America for a second, okay? Well, what are you going to do? That's right, nothing, okay? You're not going to do shit. Shut the fuck up. I mean, to blame it on Ukraine and improve public opinion around the invasion? Wait, what? No one is going to fucking think that this is sick now. The invasion is not... There are a million different things you could do to improve the public support around the invasion. Like, actually win ground and not use fucking forced conscription. Blowing up your own pipeline, which is one of the only things that is helping you bully the European Union and Europe in general, is not one of those things. In 2015, the annual routine underwater survey of the Nord Stream 1 pipeline came across a remote-operated vehicle rigged with explosives right next to the lines. The umbilical cable had been cut. The drone's national origin was never disclosed. Back in June this year, NATO concluded its annual Baltops military exercise in the Baltic Sea. This year's exercise had significant focus on using U.S. Navy unmanned underwater vehicles to clear sea mines. Where did the U.S. Navy conduct these UUV exercises? Right next to the Danish Sea of Bornholm, the same island adjacent to the massive ruptures in Nord Stream pipelines occurred yesterday. Since these exercises are in June, the British Royal Navy, along with the U.S. Navy's 6th Fleet, has been training with the Ukrainian military to use these same drones. I feel like this is going to be another thing where people are going to fucking yell at me because they're like, no, you have to say Russia did it. But it doesn't seem like Russia would do it. It's insane. Maybe they did, but they're already doing awful shit regardless, and they're getting their shit pushed in. Why would they do something that, like, unironically harms them further? I don't think Ukraine has the capability of doing this. I think it's, why the fuck would it be Ukraine? It'd be America. CIA warned Berlin about possible attacks on gas pipelines in the summer. The German government received the CIA tip in summer, Spiegel reported, citing unnamed sources adding that Berlin assumes a targeted attack on Nord Stream 1 and 2 pipeline. A German government spokesperson declined the comment. It's like, interesting. They just knew that it could happen. Like Russia could do it to themselves. Dark Brandon rises. Dark Brandon rises, folks. Hassan saw that Snowden got citizenship, so he's actively petitioning right now. Why the fuck would I want why the fuck would I want a Russian citizenship when I'm an American citizen? Interesting consideration would be some hyper-nationalist Europeans. No. I think like the only legitimate consideration for this that doesn't absolve potentially like American involvement would be that Russia would do this so they would increase the dependency for Nord Stream 2, I guess. But I don't even know how that works. Like the only way that I foresee this happening, like coming from the Russian front, like what are the benefits to Russia? The only benefit I can see it is like, you know, because Europe is like reliant. But Nord Stream 2 also has leaks, right? So even then, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense, man. Why the fuck would they bomb both of them? Putin said on September 17th, if Europe wanted to open Nord Stream 3, they could, but the U.S. has been telling Europe not to do it. Yeah. You blew it up for content. Somehow it was me, actually. Are there more videos on this? I want to watch another one instead of this. Yeah. Let's see. Germany suspects sabotage hit Russia's Nord Stream pipeline.
Germany suspects sabotage.
Wait, hold on. All like 1 minute notes.
Mit diesem Dienstag endet eine Folge.
Okay, that's in German. We can't watch that. Nord Stream pipeline leaks raise suspicion. Okay, here.
Sabotage is
there we go. DW.
3 leaks in the Nord Stream natural gas pipelines connecting Russia to Europe. Gas bubbles have formed in the Baltic Sea off Denmark and Sweden. The Danish military has released these images of the gas bubbles. The leaks were first spotted on the radar of a passing ship. Denmark has since banned shipping from the area and imposed a no-fly zone. The Nord Stream 1 and 2 pipelines run from Russia to Germany. Neither is in operation, although both did contain pressurized gas. The Kremlin says it's extremely concerned about the leak. Now, Poland's Prime Minister has called it an act of sabotage without providing any evidence. And Denmark's Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen says sabotage is indeed a possibility.
We cannot rule it out. It is too early to draw conclusions yet. But this is an extraordinary situation, an unusual situation. And there are 3 leaks. Even with...
I don't know why people are feigning ignorance. Just say, like, even if you hate, like, there are plenty of people who hate Russia. Okay. Understandable. They're doing some fucking really horrifying things in Ukraine. I don't know why it's so hard for people to admit that, like, America most likely did this. Like, you can, like, this doesn't mean that Russia is all of a sudden in the right for invading Ukraine. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like there's only one party that has the most to gain and has actively said, we will do whatever the fuck we can to stop Nord Stream 2 from moving forward, which they successfully did. And it seems like, you know, they were not happy with, like, Russia having any sort of dominance over Europe. They openly said, will take any means necessary to stop that from happening. So I don't know why people are like, oh man, there's no way this could be America, even though they are the ones who gain the most out of this. It's Europe gets cucked because they're you know, a piece of their energy dependence, like a pipeline that is a part of their energy dependence on Russia is cucked, making energy prices higher. Russia gets cucked because like it's one way, maybe not the most effective, but one of the ways of delivering energy directly to Europe. You know what I mean? Like out of all those players, like it makes no sense for any of those other guys to do it. U.S. with the help of Moldovan Navy SEALs and cows. You just said Moldovan Navy SEALs twice, Moldovan Mama Liga.
With some distance between them, and that is why it's hard to imagine that what's happening is a coincidence.
Now, our political correspondent Thomas Sparrow joins me now. Thomas, what are you hearing from the German government officially and maybe unofficially about these leaks?
The same line of caution that we heard from other European officials, that it's essentially too early to conclude what exactly is behind those leaks. But what we are hearing as well, not only here in Germany, but also from other European countries, is that the extent of the damage seems too large for it to be accidental or coincidental. And that's why you're hearing from officials saying that there's a possibility that this could have been an act of sabotage. But again, it is still too early to really conclude what was behind those leaks. There are crisis teams meeting in different parts of Europe to try and understand what exactly happened and also what could be the impact, the political but also the economic impact of these leaks on the Nord Stream pipelines, the Nord Stream 1 and the Nord Stream 2 pipelines.
Now, how difficult would it be to attack these pipelines? I understand they're encased in concrete.
Well, you would essentially need to know first, Gerhard, if it was indeed an attack. Again, we're only speculating here, but there have been already analysis pointing to the fact that the extent of the damage would point, if it is an attack, to a state actor. But again, this is only speculation, and those crisis teams are trying to identify not only the extent of the damage. Some of the latest reports also point to possible explosions along the Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 pipelines, but also, again, what could be the impact of these damages, in particular.
America's literally applying the, no, Russia is hitting itself defense. And it seems like American media will go along with it, and it seems like people will actually agree to that narrative.
For Europe's infrastructure when it comes to...
By the way, none of this still absolves Russia's actions, for the record.
Gas.
But it just, like, doesn't make any sense to me. But, you know, I was wrong about saying that Vladimir Putin was not going to invade Ukraine, because that would be fucking bananas and insane.
In particular for Europe's infrastructure when it comes to gas. That is also a particularly important topic in Europe nowadays.
Now, does this leak, do these leaks have any measurable effect of the current energy supplies to Europe?
We've heard already from German officials, from the German economy minister, that energy supply is guaranteed, and that has to do with the fact that both pipelines were not in operation. Nord Stream 2 pipeline was never in operation, actually, and gas was flowing less and less from Nord Stream 1. So from that perspective, in the German case, Germany has, in fact, increased its gas reserves around 90–91%. So from that perspective, energy supply seems to be guaranteed. But there are obviously questions as to what all this means for Europe's vulnerability when it comes to these gas supplies in general, what it also means economically, what it means for the markets. So there are certainly, Gerhard, a lot of questions here as to what the potential impact of this might be, even though, as we're hearing from German officials, that energy supply is for now guaranteed, and that the impact on this is certainly not as big as many would have feared maybe a few weeks or a few months ago.
Our political correspondent, Thomas Sparrow, there. Thank you, Thomas. Now let's bring in Michael Bloss. He's a member of the European Parliament for the German Green Party and part of the Committee on Industry, Research and Energy. Now, the Danish military has released videos showing the ocean bubbling. What more do you know about the exact situation right now?
I don't know much more. I think investigations are in place from the Danish side, from the Swedish side. And we have to see what they will find. I'm sure they will also go down with some robots and check the leaks. But yeah, as you just heard, sabotage is something that cannot be ruled out. I think it is but important to say that this will not have an impact on the German gas situation, because we do not get gas from Nord Stream 1 and 2 from Russia. These were closed down by Russia, so the effects on the German gas market is close to zero.
So who would benefit from such an attack? I mean, it doesn't look like any amateur could attack a concrete encased pipeline at the bottom of the Baltic Sea. There must be some state actors behind
Who could be?
Absolutely. It seems like that this is something that has been done in a very professional way, but it's too early to say who could be the one who did it. No, I mean, I believe Russia could be behind in an attempt to create more chaos, more turmoil on the European energy market. What is, of course, now underway is also security checks on existing other gas pipelines. This is critical infrastructure, and the security alert for them there, it has to be heightened up now. So we don't know who is behind it. It creates a little
probably
bit of
Russia.
Insecurity in Germany. We need to take care of our in all of Europe.
He's like, we don't know who's behind it, but it's probably Russia.
Critical infrastructure, our energy infrastructure, but who was it is something that the Danish and the Swedish police need to find out.
Yeah, impossible to say right now, as you rightly say there. But what worries you most about these leaks?
No, what worries me is really that, you know, the acts of war, and I suspect it is connected through the Russian aggression against Ukraine, is coming closer and closer. Energy infrastructure is key for us to come over the winter. It's critical infrastructure. We really need to take care of it. We really need to.
When they say we're not getting any gas, we've switched 90% of our reliance away from Nord Stream, that doesn't mean that in the future, in a critical moment, when Germany's like, our reserves are drying out, we desperately need energy from Russia, doesn't mean that they wouldn't open up the fucking faucets. So just understand that. Like, they are ready for it, or they're trying to gear up for a strong winter, but that doesn't mean that, like, during the height of winter demand, that they were going to cave. Now, of course, Russia understands that. Every person that is involved in this understands that. The people that are currently selling them, yes, Bidet Marx is correct on this. The people that are currently increasing their liquefied natural gas that they're selling, who most clearly benefits from such a disaster? Since the same time last year, U.S. has more than doubled the volume of gas it is sending to Europe. Yeah. And also, Germany is working on creating facilities that Germany's currently working on facilities that it can use to get the liquid gas that America is sending, which is a different process than like directly getting it from the Nord Stream pipeline, which will take years, by the way. They're working on it, but you know, it's going to take a fucking long ass time. But once those investments are placed, and once they're actually building the infrastructure for that, like, they're not going to go back to the fucking Nord Stream pipeline. Well, now they can't go back because the pipeline is doo-doo. All I know is this upcoming winter for Europe, it's going to be a very cold one. A very, very cold one. Dark Brandon rises.
Let me answer the first question first. If Russia invades, that means tanks or troops crossing the border of Ukraine. again, then there will be no longer a Nord Stream 2. We will bring an end to it.
How will you do that exactly, since the project and control of the project is within Germany's control?
We will, I promise you, we'll be able to do it. Let me answer the first question first. If Russia invades, that means tanks or troops crossing the border of Ukraine again. Then there will be no longer a Nord Stream 2. We will bring an end to it.
How will you do that exactly, since the project and control of the project is within Germany's control?
We will, I promise you, we'll be able to do it. Let me answer the first question first. If Russia invades.
Goddamn, Joe Brand is so fucking sexy. Yeah. Okay, I'm a Russian and I can say that these pipes blew up by themselves. Yeah, no, probably not. I mean, probably, sorry. Take a look.
To increase the security level. But also what worries me as a climate politician is that this is lots of methane gas getting out of this two pipelines, and methane gas is 30 times more dangerous for the climate than CO2. So also this leakage is something that is bad for the climate and bad for the environment, for the biosphere, for the animals that live around the leaks.
Michael Bloster, member of the European Parliament, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, the pipeline probably killed itself by shooting itself in the back of the head.
Now, Europe's border agency Frontex says nearly 66,000 Russians have flooded into the EU over the last week.
Yeah. It's a typical thing that pipelines do. They just shoot themselves in the back of the head 3 times. And you know, commit Sudoku.
Because men leave to avoid being called up to fight in Ukraine. Latvia has declared a state of emergency as its frontier comes under pressure. And Kazakhstan and Georgia are reporting tens of thousands of arrivals. DW correspondent Maria Katsamadze reports now from a checkpoint on the border between Georgia and Russia.
Thanks to the Georgians for opening the border. It made it much easier for us.
Alone with friends, children, or family.
One thing I've seen so far about like these people that are fleeing the country because they don't want to be conscripted into a fucking bullshit war is like I've seen a bunch of people saying like, "Oh, don't let them into your country." And it's like, what do you want? Do you want your enemy to have like a larger military? Like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Isn't this good? Like, I've seen hella fucking psychotic, like, Ukrainian flag in the bio accounts saying shit like, do not let these Russian dogs into your country. And I'm like, bro, what? Like, every Russian that escapes forced conscription in this bullshit fucking war is one less person you have to fight against. I saw some Redditors saying they need to stay because they deserved it. Like, they quite literally do not deserve it. What is this? This was uploaded online with the caption, "We are closer than you think." Wait, what? I don't understand. Why'd you show me this? They seek him here. They seek him there. The Ruskies seek him everywhere. Is he in heaven? Is he in hell? What? I'm from Lithuania, and I can confirm we're all happy that Russians are not allowed to our country. But that doesn't make sense. Am I crazy? Why the fuck would people not want, like, Russians to unironically flee and not be a part of the fucking war efforts? You're helping when your enemy makes a mistake, you allow them, okay? You don't literally go, oh, man. This is why No, I know the partisan flag. I know. I don't give a shit about that, dude. Fuck it. Who cares?
On foot or by bike, with or without pets. Many of these people crossing the border from Russia into Georgia are doing so to avoid being sent to war.
Look at these fifth column guys, by the way. Do you see that? They're even bringing their fat cats with them. Typical spy shit. They're all probably KGB. Most of these guys.
DW's Maria Katamadze went to meet some of them.
Since the start of the mobilization in Russia, this checkpoint in neighboring Georgia has been working in an emergency mode. Thousands of Russians have already entered the country trying to escape the war in Ukraine. Russian men, along with their families, spend days and nights in queues stretching for kilometers, most of the time without food and water, the price that they are willing to pay just to avoid going to the battlefield.
Ilya spent 3 days on the road. Moscow to Tuapse, Vladikavkaz. First by train, then by bicycle. This is how he crossed the border into Georgia.
I cannot support what is happening in Russia now. I am against Putin's policies. I am against this war. I think it makes absolutely no sense. I was actually supposed to go to Japan for a permanent residency in 6 months, but I decided that if everything closes down, there won't be any Japan.
Nikita's originally from Moscow. He worked for an energy company which closed down because of the war. He'd like to return to Russia someday when Moscow changes its political course.
There is a huge influence.
So many people live in the comfort of their homes and never have to consider fleeing the country that you called your home because of its fucking actions against you and against others. And it's a disgusting, Iowan piece of shit who never has to second guess America's imperialist wars and lives in the comfort of the imperial core, saying the dumb shit on Twitter, being like, yeah, no, fuck these guys. You're a piece of shit. Okay? You're a gigantic piece of shit. You're not a good person. You're an actual unironic bad person. If you think that these people who are fleeing Russian conscription and Russian war should not be let into the country, you are no different than Vladimir Putin. Because you know who benefits from that? Vladimir Putin. That's why his fucking police force is unironically locking people up that are protesting the forced conscription and then immediately sending them to the fucking front lines. You have a 100% one-to-one exact take that Vladimir Putin has with respect to these people who are fleeing Russia. It's crazy. Are these the same people saying that if an American military draft happened, they would flee? They wouldn't flee? Yeah. So Democrats should leave red states? Moscow won't change its political course if everyone who wants it to leave changes? Mad disagree? What? Dude, you should get back to playing, even though your name is done playing. Bro, there could be an million, okay? There could be 10 million fucking Russians who are against the government. It doesn't matter. There is no say. They have no say. God, I literally hate these fucking American keyboard warriors who are like, man, I'm built differently. Yeah? Did you blow up an American forward operating base recently? What happened? Are you anti-imperialist? Are you fighting against American imperialism? Do you have some issues with that? What have you done to undermine American empire? Nothing. Shut the fuck up. These people are braver than you, okay? Braver than you ever will be.
Influx of cars, a huge influx of people, but I understand the customs officers have figured out how to deal with this situation and have started to organize traffic. And what is interesting is people are also organizing themselves.
George is on his way from Krasnodar to visit relatives in Georgia. He tells DW the border guards don't let everyone through.
He took my passport and checked to see if I was being drafted. That was it. Those who are being mobilized, they just turn them around, just like that. There have been cases like this.
The Georgian Interior Ministry has already announced it does not intend to close the border with Russia. The Russian Federal Security Service has already deployed military personnel and an armoured personnel carrier to the frontier to stop Russians fleeing their mobilization orders.
Let's join Igor Kuroptev, who's director of the Free Russia Foundation in South Caucasus. He joins us from the Georgian capital, Tbilisi. Full disclosure, Mr. Kuroptev also has a commercial relationship with Deutsche Welle. He was at the border between Russia and Georgia last night. Welcome to DW. What did you see there?
Good evening. Yeah, of course, my organization Foundation, first of all, we assist Russian political exile, but now we're closely monitoring what's going on the border because it affects security of Georgia and situation in Russia as well. When I was on the border, I saw lots of people coming. It's thousands, and people use bicycles. They use any means to cross the border. Yesterday, Georgian government border police allowed people to cross the border by foot. So many people just leave their cars far away and go by foot to cross the border and to leave Russia as soon as possible, not to go and die or kill someone in Ukraine. So the situation there is very tense. Yeah.
I was just going to ask about what they were telling you about why they were leaving.
I would say that mostly, there are various groups, but mostly people are leaving because they actually never supported this war, and now there is a time to leave the country as soon as possible. They
Working Press, thank you for the
want to ever
25
become a part
or
of this
10 gifted subs.
Acts in Ukraine.
Coffee Dave, thank you for the 5.
Some people, of course, they were silent, but just they don't want to die. And some people who even supported the war, but now after this Putin's step to announce mobilization, they not to go because they also just don't want to go and die there without any preparation. But mostly, again, majority is the people who oppose the war all the time from the very beginning.
And so we have Georgia.
You think there's any Russian Hasanabi heads? Of course there are. Hella fucking streamers are hippos. A lot of Russian gamers are gays who wouldn't want to fight. Women in Iran are braver. What? You think there is any? This is the same account that we've banned time and time again, isn't it? The streamers are hypocrites account that we ban all the time, and he just like makes new sock accounts with the same fucking name. That's one of the funniest parts about people who make. That's one of the funniest parts about people who make like sock accounts. They literally always want to make the same name. They want to use their same name in their sock accounts. Die with in a case of conflict with Turkey, burger or kebab? Bro, America and Turkey go to war. You know where I'm going? New Zealand, motherfucker. Catch me in New Zealand by myself, okay? Chilling with the Kiwis. I'm not even touching anybody. I'm fucking out of here, dude.
Obviously sharing a border with Russia, with its much bigger neighbour. This must have put the Georgian authorities under quite a lot of pressure, not just from the physical number of people coming into its country, but also political pressure from Russia.
I would like to remind that 20% of Georgia is occupied by Russian Federation since 2008, so occupation and illegal Russian military base on Georgian territory the first threat. Yes, of course, this number of people coming, fleeing to Georgia, going to Georgia is a threat, and government and special services are monitoring the situation. At the moment, there are no indications of some danger issues, but of course, such a big amount of people in the country of 3.6 million people, it's a lot. And of course, it increases Russian influence in Georgia. So Georgian society is now demanding to close the border.
Right. Thank you for joining us, Igor Kuroptev from the Free Russia Foundation in South Caucasus.
Earlier, I talked to Corneli Kakachia. He's director of the Georgian Institute of Politics in the country's capital, Tbilisi. I asked him if he sees a noticeable surge in Russian arrivals.
Yes, I think this is already...
My best friend is currently in the queue for crossing RUKZ. I'm not leaving as I have elder relatives to take care of. Shit is really sad. Reading The Privilege of Marabou, shitting on these people is fun. Yeah, I mean, dude, they're American. They're disgusting. What do you mean? We're American. We're filthy little piglets. Like, living in our own slop, thinking our shit don't stink. You know what I mean? Americans will never, ever comprehend the reality of, like, despising the authoritarian government that you weren't, like, that you were never in support of, that you were born into, you know what I mean? Those conditions and escaping them. That's actually unironically, you know, half of our lack of empathy revolving around other, you know, immigrants escaping countries that we fucked up, like Latin American countries and shit.
Already visible because we don't have exactly the figures, because almost every day we have more influx of Russian citizens. But before that, for instance, weeks ago, there was some sort of estimation that we have already 150,000 Russian citizens in Georgia. And that's a huge number if you consider that Georgia is a small country, just has a population 3.5 million. And also, you know, like because we have a visa-free regime with Russia, basically state authorities not really able to control who is actually entering to Georgia from the Russian-Georgia border.
Given Georgia's own difficulties fending off
a lot of those Americans also don't understand that, like, Russians still have access to the internet and they can read their fucking words. And they unironically are reinforcing the same narrative that Vladimir Putin wants reinforced, which is that if you're Russian, you're alone. If you're Russian, the only person that will look after you is your other fellow Russians. The entire world is against us, with maybe the exception of China and some other countries. Okay? The entirety of the Western world is against us. They hate you. Look what they're doing. They don't even need to, like, make fucking psyops. They could just show Reddit. They could just, like, literally show any random Reddit page to instill the notion that the rest of the world is, like, completely psychopathic with respect to, like, random Russian people and the way that they treat random Russian people. Here is No Fuckers talking about the mobilization in Russia. We're going to cover that in a second. It's just so insane. I don't know.
Russian military.
Actually, let's just move on. Let's watch that.
Roman, your favorite neighborhood Russian. Hi guys, doing today. Welcome to a brand new video. And in today's video, guys, we're gonna be talking about the mobilization in Russia and why everybody is trying to leave. Yet again, guys, this video is gonna be uploaded like 5 days after the actual news broke out, because honestly, I've been trying to collect myself to record this video for the last 2 days, but I just couldn't because I feel fucking awful. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, I'm pretty sure all of you already know the news. I don't even need to tell you what happens. The Russian government, the Russian State Duma have added such terms as martial law, wartime, and mobilization into the Russian criminal code. And then 1 day later, Putin came out with a speech and address on live.
The thing is, Russia's strategy for war is that you have the majority Russian population in some part of the country, so they need to liberate it. That's what's happening in Ukraine's west. Same thing with Moldova. Yeah, dude, that's what they're doing. They're mass relocating. They're mass relocating to Georgia so they can, you know, set up, you know, they can set up the Georgian front beyond the territories that they have already. That's their goal. That's why they're sending the babushkas, you know?
TV saying that he's announcing a partial mobilization in the Russian Federation. Partial mobilization in the Russian Federation. You guys finish the rest of the rap in the comments. Anyway, Putin once again gave a classic speech saying how the West is, you know, threatening to destroy.
By the way, for the record, I just want people to understand, like, while Russia does do shit like that, okay, that kind of like anti-immigrant sentiment, anti-refugee sentiment is exactly what Americans think like Mexico is doing. You know what I mean? You're just repeating. You're just being xenophobic for Georgia at this point. And it's understandable that Americans have takes like this because, like, Americans are so xenophobic, they got xenophobia for other countries. You know what I mean? Like, they literally, you got American motherfuckers being like, nah, man, we need border walls right now for Georgia. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, yeah, we got it, dude. You love having this insanely reactionary worldview.
Russia, and essentially announcing a so-called partial mobilization, according to which people with prior military experience or people who have served in the army could be drafted to go to Ukraine. Then later, the Russian Minister of Defense, Sergei Shoigu, also came out saying that in the first wave of the draft, they're gonna draft 300,000 people, and there's gonna be multiple waves. So yeah, the Russian government basically said that this mobilization is very limited, it's only gonna affect like soldiers, you guys shouldn't worry about anything. Honestly, I could go into detail, but I don't think it really matters because, first of of all, none of the things that have been said verbally by Russian government representatives are actually in the decree that Putin signed. The decree that he signed about the mobilization actually doesn't specify who's gonna be mobilized, so the decree basically allows anybody to get mobilized. And also, there's been pretty decently big protests in Russia right after this mobilization was announced, and the men who got arrested at the protest are being given mobilization like draft letters. So basically, if you go to protest against the mobilization, if you get arrested, you get mobilized. And this is not some speculation, by the way. Even Putin's press secretary Peskov has said that drafting people who've been arrested at protests actually doesn't break the law in any way, and it's completely legal. So yeah, I don't think...
Oh, thank God. Thank God they figured out the legal boundaries on that one, you know what I mean? That's what I was worried about.
It really matters, and not like the Russian government...
It is evil as fuck, dude, yes.
At this point has a very good track record of telling the truth. I mean, literally, some Kremlin spokespeople were saying that there's not gonna be any mobilization like 1-2 days before the mobilization actually was announced, so yeah. So yeah, there's a reason why everybody in Russia right now, especially men, because women can be mobilized as well if they're like doctors and stuff, by the way. This is why everybody is literally shitting their pants right now, and even though I'm out of Russia currently, I worry for my friends and my family, you know, it's fucked up. Let's not forget about the fact that Putin also always said that he's never gonna change the constitution, which he did. Putin also said that he will never raise the retirement age, which he did. I mean, I'm gonna be sitting here for like 3 hours naming everything, but you know what I'm getting at. And as far as the way the mobilization is actually going, there's already a ton of videos online of like people being taken away, of people saying goodbyes to their, you know, husbands, fathers. There's been reports that apparently about 5 military draft centers, basically that's the center where they do the medical checkup and basically like actually direct you where you're gonna go. 5 of those officers were lit on...
I've seen videos of people fucking breaking their own legs and shit so they don't have to get drafted. I mean, it's really fucked up. It's really fucked up.
Fire in Russia, actually. The Russian government also announced that they're gonna be giving out Russian citizenships to migrants who live and work in Russia that are gonna be volunteering to go and fight in Ukraine. I mean, I don't know what the fuck is going on, honestly, but all I know is this is a troubling time for everybody. Look, I got a cousin who's 1 year younger than me. Love him to death. He's my brother, okay? Good guy, too. He's in a conscript army right now. He was actually just about to get demobilized. You know, like finish his service in like 2 months or something. And now I don't even know what's gonna happen, honestly. Most of my friends back in Russia, they're all young guys my age. And the thing is, some of my friends did move in March when everything started initially, like I did. But not everybody can afford it. Going to another country and even getting the tickets and renting an apartment is quite expensive.
My classmate literally dropped a weight on his big toe. It snapped off like a carrot. Morbid, but at least not going to war. Jesus Christ. Oh! That's fucking nuts! Toe is enough. Russians in the chat are like, wait a minute. Toe is enough? Okay. We will do. You know who's not getting mobilized, dude? The parkour motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Those guys are parkouring and you know, doing it wrong one time. And that's it. Then boom. No more mobilization for you. Toe is enough! I know. I saw the video of someone breaking their leg to avoid conscription. Just submit evidence as you as a bottom? No, that's just the Turkish military, my man. That doesn't work that way. You can, however, submit evidence that at the top of the hour, if you want to avoid it, you can submit the evidence that you're subscribed and won't see the top of the hour ad break. Because at the top of the hour, there's a 6-second ad break. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do for $5 or for free with the Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, where you get 1 free Prime subscription a month. Use it on your favorite broadcaster. Hopefully that's me. That's right. You can also get gifted a sub if you're lucky. What are you doing, Step Bro? And Vizcast, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Here's a moment ad break now.
Expensive, so not everybody could afford it, but now even those of my friends who can't afford it are doing it. And well, let's just say I am trying to help my friends right now, and I think I'm gonna have like 10 refugees living in my apartment in the next month. And the amount of people that started leaving immediately after this was announced and immediately after Putin's address was insane. Literally in like hours after his address, all the direct flight tickets to Yerevan, Armenia and Istanbul, Turkey were bought out. And there's been reports of like tickets to Belgrade, Serbia going for over $10,000 $100 a pop. Also, a few fun facts. In Russia, on Google, right after the announcement of demobilization, some of the top searches were how to leave Russia, where to leave Russia without having a foreign passport, and even how to break an arm. Yeah, because if you break an arm or a leg or something like that, you're not being taken to the army, so insane. And also, there's actually been a down...
That's only going to take you so far. Once these motherfuckers are like, yeah, actually, we decided even if you have a broken arm, you still have to serve. You know what I mean? And I'm not even joking about this. I mean, they're giving him like old ass equipment, you know what I mean?
Surge in the amount of online Counter-Strike Global Offensive players because apparently Russians are getting drafted. So those who play CS:GO are playing CS:GO in real life right now. Oh man, this is just so fucked up. It's so bad. Pretty much every single country that borders with Russia that has visa-free entrance to Russia has basically a shit show going on at the border right now, because there's a lot of photos online of the border between Kazakhstan and Russia, for example, where the lines have stretched like 15 kilometers from people just trying to leave Russia for Kazakhstan. Same thing is happening in Georgia as well. As I'm recording this video right now, there's like a 15-kilometer traffic jam at the border of people trying to get into Georgia. I mean, it's absolutely fucking insane. And I want to say this.
Women don't have to fight unless they're doctors and shit, and then they can be sent into the front lines as like a medical tech. Like nurses and doctors.
People are making fun of all the Russians trying to leave Russia right now, essentially saying that, oh, you guys are fucking all Z, you know, you all support Putin, why are you trying to leave your beautiful country? Go die for Russia, you know? And I understand, yeah, it's funny, and honestly, if it's Ukrainians saying that, yeah, I get it. But honestly, I think it's just kind of wrongful to group everybody who's trying to leave right now.
Bro, this man has been cyberbullied so much that he's now officially cucked. Like, he's been getting fucking so cyberbullied, so relentlessly, non-fucking stop since Russia invaded Ukraine, that like he literally is like, oh, I get it if you think that it's funny. It's like, no, I don't think it's funny. I'll say it. I don't think he can, but I'll fucking say it. It's not funny at all. These are not the motherfuckers who want to do this
right now together. I understand the idea of like a fucking Z patriot who, you know, roots for Russia, you know, he's like, fuck Ukraine, fuck all you motherfuckers. And when Russia announces demobilization and this guy who's like a patriot can actually go to Ukraine and now show those Ukrainians what's for, you know, he actually becomes a pussy and tries to leave and just dips, you know? Yeah, that's a really funny idea. And honestly, I don't doubt that there's thousands of people like that right now. For sure, of course. We all know it's easy to be a warrior and a soldier when you're sitting on your fucking couch in front of the TV Russian propaganda, you know? Of course, but when it's your turn to die, nobody wants to do it, sure. But those people obviously exist, but there's just honestly a lot of people in Russia, first of all, that just cannot afford to leave. And this is like a big thing for me, honestly, because I have really good friends who have the most progressive, pro-Western mindset ever, and they would have left months ago if they could, but they just cannot afford it. And now it's like gotten to the point where they're ready to spend their last money to do it, basically. Are these people dumb for not leaving earlier? I don't know. And honestly, I feel like a lot of people just don't have good enough foresight, because I think I'm like really into politics. I've been closely following everything that's going on with Russia for the last probably 8 years at least. And like, I can see where this is going. When I was leaving, I knew this might happen. So, you know, I dodged the bullet, literally, but not everybody has no life like me and just sits reading about politics all day, okay? And news and shit. And a lot of people just realize the severity of the entire situation only now. So yeah, it's a bit dumb, but I feel like it's a good wake-up call for those people, you know? I feel like with this mobilization announcement, a lot of people's minds are changing right now, and that's actually really good. But that's probably one of the only good things that will come out of this. One thing that I was also thinking about that...
Wait, what? What did he say? What? I didn't even listen.
Only now. So yeah, it's a bit... see where this is going. When I was leaving, I knew this might happen. So, you know, I dodged the bullet, literally, but not everybody has no life like me and just sits reading about politics all day, okay? And news and shit. And a lot of people just realize the severity of the entire situation only now. So yeah, it's a bit dumb, but I feel like it's a good wake-up call for those people, you know? I feel like with this mobilization announcement, a lot of people's minds are changing right now, and that's actually really good. But that's probably one of the only good things that will come out of this. One thing that I was also thinking about that's really on my...
I don't understand why you said Pepe
mind lately is that this influx of people might actually really mess with a lot of the Russians who have left Russia a bit earlier. Because honestly, here's the thing, like I live in Georgia, right? This is a country Russia hasn't...
Oh, because he said like not everyone is sitting on their asses and covering the news nonstop. Is that why you guys are saying Pepela? He didn't fucking... I didn't misunderstand what he was saying. He didn't talk about me or you guys at all.
invaded before, but nevertheless it's a country that has visa-free entry for Russians, so you can stay here for an entire year. That's crazy. And I'm just super grateful for Georgia and for Georgian people for being hospitable and for allowing me to have a fucking life somewhere, you know? I'll literally remember this shit till I die, like straight up. Tbilisi is in here forever. But quite honestly, I do feel like with this influx of people now, the attitudes of the people are gonna change. And quite honestly, already being Russian and living in Georgia, I low-key feel uneasy a lot of the time. Not in the sense that people are assaulting me or something like that, not at all. It's just inside of me. I feel uneasy because I know I come from a country that did a lot of bad shit to this country, and so many Russians coming here, it's very anxiety-inducing for a lot of Georgians. It's not only that the influx of new people have driven the rent prices up here.
All I'm gonna say is he says a Italiophobic Fredo is anti-Italian sentiment, and he's wearing that shirt.
But also just due to the fact that there's honestly too many of us here, and there's gonna be way more, and honestly I would not be surprised if people are gonna be like, we had enough, and that's well within their rights. And I feel bad about it because I feel like I'm contributing to the problem, you know? I put this on my Instagram story earlier, how I'm like a fucking cockroach essentially that's just infesting countries that are not Russia, and now these people have to deal with me being here. Like I feel bad about it, man. And now with so many more Russians coming here, I don't know. I don't think the people here are gonna be very happy. And that, in my opinion, might be some bad news for Russians living here, especially Russians like myself, who can't really go back to Russia. Although that's kind of like every Russian now. I thought I was special, honestly, you know? But now everybody can go back, bro. And by the way, I don't want to sound like I'm condescending or anything. Like, oh, I'm a Russian who moved here in March. First of all, not only am I more woke, but second of all, I've also been here for longer, so you motherfuckers don't ruin this shit for me. No, not like that at all. I understand what kind of shit people are going through and why they're doing it. But nevertheless, all I'm saying is that this huge influx of Russians into Georgia, Kazakhstan, Armenia, etc., it might make the people living in those countries not very happy. So yeah, man, I mean, I don't really know what else to say here. It's just a completely fucked situation. I don't know what the hell is going on. Like, I definitely think now, you know, looking in retrospect, that I obviously made the right decision. Like I said in my last video, if you haven't seen it, I've left Russia 6 months ago. Like some people in the comments said, I quite literally dodged the bullet, literally. I also want to address this. I've gotten a lot of comments from you guys saying that, oh, Roman, what's gonna happen to you? Can you get drafted? Can you get mobilized, etc., etc.? Well, technically, yeah. I mean, since they're taking people at protests who are just like 18-year-old Zoomers who have never had any military experience, of course. Anything could happen at this point. There's no rule of law. There's no logic. There's nothing. But will they? First of all, I think it's unlikely because the way it works is that the people who have been drafted had a health ranking of A, mostly. Let me explain it really quick. In Russia, basically, when you go to the military draft office and you get your medical checkup, you get like a health ranking. A means you're like completely healthy, ready to serve Russia. B means you're fit to serve, but you have some health limitations. V, which is like C, the third letter of the Russian alphabet, means that you're not fit to serve because of your medical conditions, but you could be sent to the army in case of mobilization or martial law or something like that. And there's G, which is like, it means that you're not fit to serve at all, like if you're disabled or something. So yeah, apparently right now, most of the people that have been drafted so far, that have been sent letters that you're being drafted and mobilized, those people have been with the ranking A. Actually, one of my friends who lives in Georgia now, who's Russian as well, he's actually ranking A, and he has served in the army, so he actually got it. And he's here in Georgia, so he's not coming back at all. Me though, I haven't served in the army.
Bro, why is he fucking outing his homie, dude? What the fuck? Homie's dodging the draft in Georgia only to get fucked over by no fuckers in a video. Bro, don't snitch on him. What the fuck? Yeah, he's like, yeah, right here, right here. He lives right at this address in Tbilisi, okay? God damn.
About that, you can watch it. I actually have asthma, and due to that I got the category V, which is not fit to serve because of health conditions, but could be drafted in case of martial law, which Russia didn't you know, enact, by the way. So realistically not right now, but in the future, who knows, maybe. But once again, I have zero plans of going back to Russia in any foreseeable future, so I guess I don't care. So that's one thing I'm happy about, obviously. Not being there right now, that's good. But yeah, just a lot of things to be anxious in.
They can just go to jail, right, to not kill humans if they deny. This applies to all Imperial Corps soldiers. No. Yes and no. In America, you can just go to jail. But in Russia, it seems like they're not doing that and instead sending you to the front lines regardless. Like, they're not even letting you fucking be like, yeah, okay, if you don't want to serve the military, you have to serve your prison sentence. They're literally just sending them.
A lot of things to be worried about right now. Anyways, guys, yeah, I know once again this video was also kind of like the last video, random as fuck, just me rambling, but it is what it is. Insane times right now, so everybody out there, I hope you're staying safe.
He served already, so the people who have been occupying us should seek refugee in my country. I'm very conflicted about this. Brother, he's a conscript. What do you mean? Like, he served already. It doesn't matter. He's not trying to... Okay, if your ultimate goal is to undermine the Russian military endeavors, you should be very, very excited at the prospect of Russia not being able to fucking fill its ranks with more military members. I do not understand what you, like, I don't understand what the fuck this is. It's just like very basic shit. It's literally just a W, okay? It's just a gigantic dub. You got Russian motherfuckers saying, I don't want to serve and I'm running away. Like, you are literally undermining the military before it reaches your fucking border. It doesn't make sense. People have lost, like, it's just common sense. You know what I mean? That's what I am failing to understand here, is that, like, people are so horny that they've, like, lost their common sense. Because it makes sense that you want them to desert. You want them to surrender. Why the fuck would the Ukrainian government regularly fucking throw out leaflets and pamphlets and say in Russian, like, hey, if you desert to us or if you surrender to us, like, we'll take care of you, blah, 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 all this shit. Like, that's the point, because they don't want you to fight. The entire goal, one of the many different ways of combating an invading force is to try to undermine the numbers that they have in their ranks.
I'm still happy and I feel accomplished at the fact that we were able to have Hassan on the podcast and do poppers with us. Just to pop off.
I saw so many comments that were like, no fucking way. They actually got Hassan to do poppers with them? I can't believe he didn't know what they were.
I love how down for it he was. Well, I mean, especially since he does frequent that type of club, but like, I know that was supposed to be private, but the pic.
Super mega, dude. Just two guys having gay sex. These are the only parts I can show you of this podcast, because at first I thought it was a podcast, and it's not. It's not a podcast. It's just two dudes having gay sex.
Pictures are out there.
Well, let's not bring attention to it.
Okay.
Such assholes.
Look at the funny monkey.
I tried poppers, though. I didn't even know what the fuck it was.
Yeah, pass him over here.
You want the funny monkey?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Matt had a monkey on his lap.
No, you know what? You know what it was? You know why he didn't know what they were? He pretended to not know what they were because that fits his narrative better of, like, that's not me in those pictures at those nightclubs.
Oh, true.
Did it make your head rush feel warm? I don't know. I mean, yeah, a little bit. I mean, there's nothing gay about fucking your bros, okay, in the ass. There's nothing gay about being inside of the juicy assholes of your bros. I'm sick and tired of this narrative that that's gay. You need to stop saying that, okay? Not.
Protesters.
Here you go. It's a major shift. Amanpour breaks down the resistance across Russia after Putin's order. We already covered this a lot. I don't want to fucking cover it any further. The only cool thing from Senator Bernie Sanders' interview was this.
Do you plan to run again? That's something, I haven't made that decision. Right now, my focus, and I'll be going around the country dealing with trying to elect often young progressives, often young people of color, who are prepared to stand up for working families and take on big money interests. Do you plan to?
There you go. He didn't say no, but that doesn't necessarily mean yes. So everybody fucking cool it. Here's
the housing market is showing more signs of softening as mortgage rates rise. Concerns are also growing over rising interest rates, a possible recession, and the health of the global economy. Business reporter Alexis Christoforous joins me live now for more on this. Alexis, we got some new numbers today on home prices. So what do they tell you about the health of the housing market in general?
Things took a big turn in the month of July, Diane. The highest mortgage rates in more than a decade have thrown cold water on the once red-hot housing market. So this week, the average rate on a 30-year fixed-rate loan at 6.72%. Now, that is more than double where it was at the beginning of the year. As a result, home prices decelerated in July at the fastest pace on record. Now, that doesn't mean home prices are at a bargain basement price, but it does mean that the frenzied home buying we saw during the height of the pandemic is indeed cooling off. So while home prices are still higher compared to last year, on a month-to-month basis, we are seeing home prices in 20 U.S. cities slip 0.4% in July. That is actually the first monthly decline we've seen in prices in 10 years. The biggest price drops are on the West Coast, where affordability
yeah, Gen Z saved. Just kidding. What do you mean saved, dude?
Was already strained. So home prices in San Francisco, for instance, fell 3.6% in July. Seattle, homes saw...
Hassan regretting being a homeowner. Yeah, if this was a speculative tool for me, okay, to like generate more wealth, then yeah, I'd be like, oh man, that sure sucks for me, don't it? But no, for me, this is literally where I live. Okay, this is where I live. This is my home. This is where my family lives. This is where I stream from. Okay, and people just don't understand that. So no, I'm fine. I don't give a fuck what the housing market looks like because I already bought a house.
Homes there down 2.5% in San Diego.
Americans are so brain broken though that they do literally consider homes to be only like for market value. It's just like, I don't know. But also, you're not refinancing anytime soon. Yeah, I mean, I'm fine. I'm fine. I live in my home. It's not, yes, I paid a lot of money for it, a lot more than it's worth. Let's be fucking real. Okay, wow, you don't give a fuck because you're fine. Shaking my head. Sounds like the rest of your political takes. Yeah, I know. Not everyone wants to refinance. Shatter, you mean you're not going to buy 100 more houses to rent them out as passive income? Yeah, I'm not going to do this.
Why would you buy something so ridiculous? So I got to ask you, man, why would you buy something so ridiculous as a Rolls Royce?
It's because I'm not paying for it.
So who's paying for it? Your rentals?
Rental properties, baby.
Okay. So roughly how many rentals do you think it takes to pay for this thing a month?
So if I had a payment on this, it'd probably be $3,000 a month. Okay. You make anywhere from $200 to $400 a month in rental properties. So anywhere from 5 to 12 rentals, depending on how much money you're making.
Okay. But how much money do you have in those rental properties?
I don't have any money.
I mean, when you sign a 30-year mortgage on something that's 10x your yearly salary, I understand because people are, because people get underwater. They're fucked if they, yeah, no, I understand. Yeah, now I can buy a home in San Francisco. It's only up 2.5% and it's only $4 million now. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I love when landlords openly show that they're not a job. Like, he just literally said, I ain't paying for it. Cool, thanks. Like, that's cool. He's just admitting it. That's fine, I guess. He's just openly stating that, like I don't have a job. I'm a landlord. But when I say it, everyone's like, dude, you are such a Maoist. Fuck you. This is good news about your $2.6 million house. It means hate watchers who bitch about your $2.2 million house will complain less about your $1.4 million house now that it's only worth $700K. Yeah.
12 rentals, depending on how much money you're making.
Okay. But how much money do you have in those rental properties?
I don't have any money. I use the BRRRR method. Buy, renovate, rent, refinance, repeat, all using other people's money.
Okay, cool. So basically, you're driving this thing for free.
Basically.
Through the power of real estate.
100%.
All right. Love it.
I don't know why landlords always have the same vibe, bro. Like, there's something so fucked up. Look at this. All the way from like the incredibly long Jordan shorts Like, there's just something going on there. I don't know what it is. Someone needs to look into this.
Home prices slipping 2% in July. Prices in New York, meantime, were flat. We're seeing bidding wars no longer the norm. Listings are lingering a little bit longer on the market because demand has collapsed, and less supply is also coming onto the market. There was a recent report from Zillow that showed new listings slid almost 23% in August from a year earlier. So all of this means transactions are tumbling. Sales of previously owned homes fell for a 7th straight month in August to the lowest level in more than 2 years. And Diane, home buyers are now backing out of deals at a record pace, especially in cities that were real estate hotspots during the pandemic. So we're talking about cities like Tampa, Atlanta, Phoenix. A lot of deals there not going through.
They're either, wait. Someone said they're either Rolex flashing scumbags or look like Eminem stands from 2007. No, they're Rolex flashing scumbags who are looking like Eminem stands from 2007. As Michael also correctly pointed out, he's like, the motherfucker has 12 units, and he's still wearing like Walmart shorts with no pockets. That's it. That is literally, they're both at the same time. They'll go and buy like a fucking fat Rolly, okay? But also simultaneously will wear it with like the worst golf wear you've ever seen, okay? With the most like Ross Dress for Less ass looking golf wear you've ever seen. Or even when they go buy like more expensive shit, okay? They're no longer on that Kirkland grind. Even when they wear like expensive shit, it just still looks awful. Like long ass fucking Jordan shorts and shit. Says you, man, when you are a fashion icon, okay, like I am, a fashion icon, sometimes you're going to have some swings that are going to be misses, okay? I'm telling you right now, I have a lot of misses. Lord knows I have a lot of misses, okay? But you're hyper-focusing on those misses. You're missing the forest for the fucking trees. That's all I'm going to say on this. Blaming millennials and not capitalism? What is this? How millennials killed the guest room. Oh, look, millennials killed another thing by not being able to afford it in this economy. Haha, quirky millennials. This used to be popping off. This like how millennials killed this, and the counter to it was so popping in like 2015. It's done now. No one does that anymore. Millennials killed the guest room by not being able to afford one? Yeah. As the national housing crisis continues, more and more people are leaving behind the idea of reserving an extra bedroom for guests. Anyway, you're using the wrong response. You had to say I'm a fashion icon and some of my fits will be polarizing. It's not my fault you don't like every single one. Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. No, I'm not going to say that because people are going to keep hammering on one outfit I wore in like 2014 over and over again. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers like extra room. Millennials are killing the extra room. Dog, what extra room? They don't have a house. What the fuck? Yeah. Yeah, when I was living in a rental property, you know what my guest room was? My couch, dude, okay? What do you mean a guest room? And that was when I was living in a, no longer living in a fucking, I never lived in a studio, luckily, because I had a fuckload of roommates my entire life. I fucking lived with multiple roommates all the time so I could afford nicer places at the very least, even though it wasn't necessarily a nicer place, but it was in a nicer neighborhood, okay? But millennials, millennials have killed the guest room. By guest room, they mean the couch, I think. Were you out of your parents by 23? Yes, I was. Who the fuck has a... I mean, I have a guest room now, but like, I think we all know I'm in a unique situation with my finances. They are not the average American my age's finances. They ever think that the guest room got killed because millennials are horny and want their guests in their bed? Yeah, that's why. That's why the guest room got killed. Also, that's not even true. Millennials have no sex drive. This generation doesn't fuck anymore because they're too busy grinding, dude. That's why. Back in the day, they used to grind inside of nightclubs, okay? Now they're grinding in the workforce.
to closing.
Right, and those are the areas that saw a huge rush during the pandemic.
Exactly.
Seems to be cooling off now. Now, the stocks seem to also be trying to rebound after sliding into bear territory. How is that working into all of this?
Well, when we talk bear territory, just to sort of put a pin at the end of that sentence, you've got markets now falling 20% from their recent high. This is scary stuff, and a lot of folks can get very emotional and want to try and sell their stocks. A lot of people believe that stocks are on sale right now. So if you have time on your side, meaning if you don't need the money in the stock market for the next 3 to 5 years or more, you can actually be buying stocks at a discounted rate at the moment. And when we do rise, which we inevitably do, you're going to be able to take advantage of that rise.
All right. Alexis Christoforous, great to have you as always. Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the...
Got to catch that falling knife. Hey, back to NASA. We covered this yesterday live, but here, let's do a recap of it. NASA sent a fucking sent a dart, okay, a satellite into an asteroid and crashed it, you know, giving humans the edge, the leg up against dinosaurs. Dinosaurs 0, humans 1. We were able to destroy a fucking comet. Meanwhile, dinosaurs were destroyed by a comet. Guess what? The reason for why we launched a satellite directly at a comet was so that we could knock it out of its trajectory. If you ask the nerd scientists, however, there is no reason for it. I mean, there is no comet that's coming towards Earth. Don't worry. Please don't worry. That's what they keep saying, which, of course, is very worrisome. I think that we should be worrying a little bit because that's scary, but maybe that's just me. I don't know. I personally, when I found out about this, I thought, what are they hiding? I mean, really, what the fuck are they hiding? I don't like this at all. I don't like this one bit. Just a test, nothing to worry about. Here, let's take a look.
To NASA's attempt to steer an asteroid by slamming a spacecraft into it as a practice run in case a giant rock ever threatens the Earth. The probe successfully crashed into the rock at 14,000 miles an hour last night, and our Trevor Ault has more.
For the first time overnight, NASA achieving the unprecedented, intentionally crashing a spacecraft into an asteroid.
We have impact.
A rare sight, scientists celebrating their spacecraft.
That's what I do. That's a weak ass celebration. I can't get over that, dude. You had like 11 years to prepare, dog. You could have done a backflip. You could have literally trained yourself over the course of the 11 years by taking like 5 minutes out of your day to figure out how to do a backflip. And you could have done that in the moment. You would have been a legend, okay? But what did you do? You played fucking Sudoku instead. What did you do? You played Angry Birds on your fucking phone. You played D&D, okay? How are you going to fucking launch, finally, successfully conclude an operation that you've been working on for 11 fucking years, and the only thing you do is a high five? Not even a fucking chest bump, dude. React harder, NASA nerds. React harder.
Craft losing signal, a sign of successful contact with the target. Bill Nye even seen taking selfies with mission.
Like, that's what I'm saying. No champagne showers. No fucking Gatorade cooler being dumped on top of the NASA director. They're like, we did it. Come on.
Operations. This historic.
They couldn't even get Kanye in the room. Bill Nye. That's the best. That's the best guy you got for this celebration.
Test known as DART, the spacecraft the size of a refrigerator barreling through space at 14,000 miles an hour. The target, a 500-foot space rock named Dimorphos, located 29 times.
Is someone in the chat say not a single one of them hit the gritty? That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, find a cool dance move to do.
Times further away than the moon.
We rammed an asteroid that is 500 feet across, 7 million miles away. Now, if that isn't precise targeting, I don't know what is.
These images seen seconds before impact, showing clear detail of the rocks on the asteroid. And the reason for the...
Wait, this was the impact seen by another satellite? For real? NASA's DART spacecraft crashed into asteroid live footage? Is that smoke? Like, what happened? Rock dust. Blammo! Look at all that dust that comes up. That's just a fridge size thing too. That's a lot of fucking dust, man. That's what planet rings are made of. Astro Tiggs, I'm going to hit the whoa when accepting my Nobel Prize. Don't worry. Good. Astro Tiggs, get sturdy, okay? Study up, motherfucker. I don't want to see your nerd ass fucking being like, oh, it's so sick. Hello. Like, no, when you win some prize for some fucking lame asteroid science shit that you're working on, you best believe you should be ready for that fucking moment, okay? Blammo Redemption Arc, by the way, I didn't want to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Liz Franzak of TrueAnon said Blammo in their last episode in the intro. What are they hiding? She did. She straight up said Blammo in like their last episode in the beginning. And I was like, what? Are you capping right now? No, I am not. She did. Are you sure the aliens different? Are you sure aliens didn't retaliate by blowing up the pipeline? Yeah, the aliens retaliated by undermining Russia's strategic influence in Europe. If aliens wanted to retaliate, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't just do that.
The test preparing for a doomsday scenario we've seen play out in countless movies. The possibility of an asteroid on a catastrophic collision course with Earth.
This comet is what we call a planet killer.
Dimorphos posed no threat to our planet, but scientists wanted to see if it would be possible to divert one off course if they had to.
This is the first mission for planetary defense, but this is a technology that could literally save the Earth one day.
Now, it will take a few days or even a couple weeks to see how far off course this asteroid was diverted, but there's going to be major telescopes watching from around the world.
By the way, what the fuck happens when we find out that it didn't actually divert it off course enough? I guess then you need to build a satellite bigger than a fridge, right? You just got to try it again. You got to send a bigger fridge.
World and beyond it, and then in a few years Europe will be launching a mission to take a look at the crater that DART left behind. Michael, I'm trying to get you a seat on that one too.
Trevor, I will.
Oh my god, this is so whack, dude.